Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. My gosh, another volatile week in the mini account. And we saw new all-time highs. We jumped back with several $1,000s within, well, you can just see on Friday. There was an absolute bloodbath in the market, especially on MSTX. What I thought was getting called all week long ended up pulling back 20% just on Friday. And so we ended up being able to keep our shares. And so what do we do? Well, we stayed aggressive on our calls. We made some income and we bought some more shares. So let's go over what happened this week. It was a yo-yo of a ride. And you can see, just on Thursday, just at the opening of Friday's market, we were at 14,722, which was a new all-time high in the portfolio. And during the week, we got as high as $15,000 in the portfolio. But of course, MSTX pulled back. And so when it pulled back, it pulled the portfolio back. But all of our calls expired worthless. And we were able to roll those out, collect some new income. And we just keep on keeping on, right? It was a record-breaking month for us since I have started this mini account portfolio series. We made over $1,000 in options premium, just willing and dealing. We ended up willing out of MSTU. We ended up willing out of Mara in the month of March. And we almost ended up willing out of MSTX as well. But, of course, you guys can see the market absolutely sold off. And so it is what it is. Bitcoin last week went from the high 70,000s up into almost breaching the $90,000 mark. And then we have now since then pulled back to about the $82,000 mark. So when you're trading a 2x lever on strategy, you are going to see a massive pullback when Bitcoin pulls back as well. So we are still sitting about about 13% for the month. 3 months are up about 2%. 1 year we're up 81.67%. And all time since we started the mini account series, we're up 71.45% or $5,238. So crazy, lots of volatility. You can see the account was as high as 15,000 this week. Obviously, we pulled back a lot since then, but I'm not too worried about it. I just keep controlling what I can control. I continue to bring in the income. We stack the shares. We swing in, we swing out, and we manage the risk. So we have $51 worth of buying power, and that is because we ended up buying some more shares. So let's just kind of jump into the share stuff real quick here. I will showcase that, of course. I ended up swinging out of my odd lot shares because we had a massive rip this week. And I sold my shares. So as you guys know, we've been buying some odd lots, right? So we bought, we bought 15 shares at $27.32. We bought another 5 shares at $28.71, and then we sold 20 shares at $37.20. That was when I was for sure like, there's no way we're going to pull all the way back down to under 33. And of course, the market does what it always does. So it pulled back down. We sold at 37, and then we started scooping them back up. So we scooped some more up at $5 or 5 shares at $28.38. We bought another 10 shares at $26.80. So over a $10 swing within a couple of days. And we got paid $743 to sell those 20 shares, and then we ended up picking another 15 up, and we got some nice money too as well. At the MSTX pullback, I ended up selling a put. You can see here we sold a $19 put for 4.4 into next week, and we got a $35 credit for that. So we'll just continue to monitor that. And then I did another short call roll. So MSTX, the 33, we rolled it out to the 33 for next week. We bought to close our ones from last week for $2. We sold to open 4 new ones at the 77, so you can see the sell to open here. And the delta is 0.18 on that. I went aggressive, and I did sell it on a down day, which is usually against my rules. But the reason why I did that is because we were willing and dealing. MSTX could be back down to 19 next week, and I would have been kicking myself. If MSTX goes back to 37 where it was during the middle of the week, then great. My shares are gone. Sayonara. Give me the cash, and we will restart the wheel cycle. So no way to lose there. Obviously, I could lose a little bit of share appreciation, but I'm not worried about it. I wanted the guaranteed cash right now. Pay me my paycheck, and then I grabbed that paycheck, and I bought more shares with it. So that's what we're looking on that. So we got, last week when we rolled, we got $304. Obviously, you saw I closed those out. This week, we got $300 plus the 35, so a nice $335 premium week. And then I took that money directly and I bought 10 shares with it right off the rip. So those are the two positions we have. We're already up $88 on this option roll as of right now, or 28%. And that'll slowly just dwindle away. If MSTX can get back in, then we're good. But you can see we had a 20% down day on Friday. I am going over the portfolio on Saturday here just because I had no plays to make. And the market was just so red that there just wasn't any calls I wanted to sell on either the big portfolio or this portfolio. So I let most things expire worthless besides this where I rolled it, right? And the reason why I rolled it is because I still got $300 for the week. So I can't complain about that, and I'm okay letting the shares go above my cost basis. So that's where we're sitting. MSTX, look at this week it had. We got as high as $37.50, almost $38 mid during the week, and then pulled obviously back to the 26.22. But if you look at the month, we've just kind of been hovering around, right? We were in the 28s, got back up to the high 30s. Now we're back down to the 26s. Hopefully we can get a bounce this week. But right now we have 415 shares, market value of just under 11,000, average cost of $32.78. And this is now 100% of my portfolio because we wheeled out of the other two positions. We're down 2,700. Tomorrow we could be up 2,700. This thing moves like crazy. We were up several thousand this week, and that's why you saw the portfolio hit 15,000. But it's just part of the game. If you play with these high volatility funds, you just have to be able to stomach the volatility in it. And if you don't believe in Bitcoin, then definitely don't trade any of the Bitcoin proxies, right? But for me, I think Bitcoin still has another run at the 100,000, and so that is why I'm trading these. And they pay a really good premium. If I can get $335 a week on a $11,000, $12,000 account, we are talking about some massive gains. So those are the plays for this week. This is what happened this week. We're inching our way up. I'll still take an 81% year, 71% all time, and it's an extra $5,000. So we've almost doubled the account. There was a point during this week where we were at more than double the account. When we were close to that $15,000 mark, we were at 100% return. So that's the plays there. When we want to look at the spreadsheet, these are all the plays we made this entire month. You can see here that we bought to close some of our calls. We bought to close these for $8, booking 308 on the MSTX calls from last week, which was a 2.3% return on our money. I ended up selling 20 shares. And you can see the math here on this. My average cost before that was $32.99, and we sold them for $37.20. So times the 20 shares, we booked about $85 in profits on that quick swing trade there. And then we bought some more shares, of course. And then I sold some puts, right? So we sold one put for $35 at the 19 strike. I really hope we don't get back down to the 19 strike because that'll make the call premium difficult to yield anything worthwhile. But if we get there, then we'll take some more shares and we'll continue to average down. I'm going to stay aggressive on this and just keep collecting. As far as our calls go, we collected $308 for the calls this week, which is 2.3% return on our money. And it was an absolutely stellar month. So if we go over the month, this is where all of our premiums come in this year. You can see MSTX is the one we've been wheeling and dealing, so that's where the most premiums come from. And then a couple other puts and calls on some other positions as well. But this is where we're sitting. This is the crazy numbers to look at. So I thought January, there was no way we were ever beating that, and that was $928. Well, in the month of March, we had $1,153 worth of options premium. We had $134 worth of cap gains, and most of that was from some of the stuff we wheeled out of, but also just diving in and out with some odd lot shares. And we started the balance in March at $11,389. We'll see what happens on Monday. We still have 1 day left in the market before we close, but we should end up probably right around here, around that $12,000, $13,000 mark. So a nice move up in the balance during the month. And then, I'm going to have to switch this as well. Let me just pull this off. Looks like it's grabbing some old data from 2024. So we'll pull that off. And then, we're at 11.3% return on our money for this month, considering my cap gains and my premium. So how are we looking overall? Well, compared to last year, we're absolutely killing it. In March of last year, 143 in this account. This month, 1,153, beating it by over $1,000. You can see that we have consistently beat our 3 months starting last year by $2,259 already. And next month, we need to beat $498 to beat April of 2024. So this is where our money has come in from. For the most part, we've done a little bit of cap gains, wheeling and dealing, but for the most part, everything has just been coming from the call premium. And you can see that here, right? So 928, 523, 1153, absolutely destroying last year. And then 498 is the goal to beat. So that's where we're sitting, $2,604 worth of income so far. When it comes to the month, this is how it's broken down. We're averaging about that $300 a week, right? 280, 190, 332, 351. And so that's about what we're averaging. For the year, we want to get $5,143 worth of annual income. We are already about 50% of the way. We have about $2,500 left to get that. And if we were to keep this trajectory going for the rest of the year, this mini account would do over $10,000 worth of options premium, which would pretty much double the account. So it's possible to get it done. It's going to be hard. We're going to have to nail a lot of trades. We've got to be on top of our average costs. We've got to get in and out of stocks. We've got to wheel in, we've got to wheel out, and we've got to continue to manage the positions. But that's where we're sitting. When it comes to the 3% goal, of course, we ended up killing that, right? The goal was $370. Obviously, we quadrupled that. So we beat it by 782, and the balance is sitting about 12,600 right now. So we are on track with a 3% goal, which would have us at a starting balance next month in April at 12,846. So we're pretty much right on right on cue for where we're supposed to be at the end of March. Unfortunately, we're not at 15 grand, but we could be at 15 grand on Monday. It really just depends on Bitcoin. I need to see back towards the $90,000 Bitcoin in order to see this push up even more. So that's where we're sitting as of right now. This is the portfolio. This is where the money has come from. And so far, so good. Not bad for a mini account. If I can continue these type of returns, I mean, obviously we've already returned, 22% if you're adding all these months up. And if we can continue this, we could easily get to our goal of $18,000 portfolio by the end of the year. But of course, it's going to take managing each and every single week. So that's the update for the week. Those are the positions we have. This is pretty much what we're going to sum up for the month of March. I don't think I'll make any trades on Monday. We're pretty much out of buying power. And so we will probably be looking for next Friday for the next video or potentially the following Monday. So that's where we're at. Hopefully everybody's March was fantastic, and hopefully you guys have been collecting the premiums, reinvesting the premiums, and stacking the buying power. So appreciate everybody as always. Don't forget to drop a like. Happy investing, and we'll catch you next time.